fast. So I just closed my eyes and like there was no dude back there, and all of a sudden I'm like, and he's like, and Lord, and then it's like, me. I'm like, I feel like that guy was just like standing on the side of the stage like Usain Bolt. I'm ready. Go start praying. And he just like runs up there and it's like, and see, I could never have done that job because I have asthma, and for me to run across, you know, by the time I got to my guitar and sweating hunched over, you know, I've been all hyper, you know, I can't play anything slow at that point. I'm just like, I can't play that during the prayer. No one's going to accept Christ at that point. Blame me. The pastor's going to turn around. Chris, what's wrong with you? And I'm just going to be like, I'm sorry, sir. I have asthma. Okay, you play that chicken picking? You got to play something, you know. You gotta play the pretty chords during the prayer, especially with a song like "How Great Is Our God Together." Yeah, something like "How great is our God." Sing with me, how great is our God. Oh, we'll sing how great He is. How great. How great, how great, how great is our God. Hey, it's like in North Carolina you can play that chicken picking stuff. It's like I feel like that's like, you know, in North Carolina you can get away with like, I got a country version of Starry Night. It's like giving my life to the only one who makes the world. Well, that was his design. Giving my life to the only son whose love is in yet to know. Look, praise the Lord. He said everything. Yes, he is. Record. Started there like this. You know, there's only so many versions of Starry Night. I do have another one. It's I always wondered, you know, if Kermit the Frog was to sing it. I don't know why he would be singing it, but maybe he reached a point in his life where, you know, his normal ways weren't fulfilling him. He needed to reach out for something bigger. Maybe he's just like a, you know, the birds that sing in the tallest of all the trees. That's not right. One day I'm just going to sing Starry Night like that and just see people's reaction. They're going to be like, what's wrong with this guy? People ask me that anyway. I don't know why. You know, it's interesting. I do want to say it's a pleasure being here, and we kind of do. I'm not gonna lie to you. We kind of say that every night because otherwise people get mad at us. And I was like, you guys say it's a pleasure being here because I mean, what am I going to be like? Hey, guess what? I've had a really horrible time here tonight. It's kind of like you. Like, don't come up to me afterwards and be like, that was not fun. It's a mutual respect. I'll just out of courtesy be like, it was a pleasure. And you'd be like, it was a pleasure. And then when you leave, you can be like, that guy was weird. But, you know, it is a pleasure. Honestly, like, and I say that, and I'm being honest. I'm being honest every night when I say that. Let's clarify that. It's always a pleasure anyway. But here, you know, it's interesting. I'm sure a few of you probably go to church here, and maybe some of you came from other places and drove from other cities. I don't know, but it was about almost 3 years ago when my song Starry Night came out about I don't even know when it came out, at some point in 2010. And, you know, I came here and it had just come out on the radio and all that, and Ron, the guy that puts on this whole thing, he, you know, I was lucky enough, or I don't say lucky around the Christian audience because they'll be like, you mean blessed? And I'm like, you're right, I was blessed. I was blessed enough to get to open for one of my favorite bands all time, the David Crowder Band. And, right here on this stage, and you know, literally they have always been one of my favorite bands, and so at the time I was so excited. I was like a little schoolgirl before Christmas. I don't know why I was a girl, maybe a schoolgirl, but I was excited. You can just imagine. And excited, and you know, I had maybe met Dave in passing here and there, but I never got to really talk to him. And if for the musician people out there, this guitar is actually a model of one of his guitars called a Crowdster. And so I was actually playing this that night, this same guitar, and I was all excited, and I met him right backstage over there, and I actually had him sign the back of the head right here. It says, Dave. And I've never had anyone sign an instrument of mine, but I thought it was so awesome to get to do that. But I want to tell you about, to me, honestly, the most special moment of that night was, and it's crazy because, you know, 3 years have gone by now, I tell this story about Greensboro, North Carolina. I tell the story about this church being here and playing that show because for me it was a really special moment that, you know, I was singing through my set, and I'm sure everyone's like, who in the world is this guy? And I'm like, you know, goofy guy up here, and no one, I mean, it was just like, what's wrong with this guy? Nothing's changed. And so I was singing through, and I get to Starry Night, and you know, this place has just got people all in it, and they came ready to worship. And I start singing Starry Night, and just like now, it's like I can hear you, you know. And I get to the chorus, and all of a sudden I hear everyone singing, and I was like, how do you know this song? You know, I was like, I forgot it was on the radio. But it was such a cool moment for me because that was the first time in my musical career that I had heard people singing, you know, in front of me like a song that I had written, and seeing them connecting with God with something that He put in my heart, you know. And I thought, man, that's such a special night for me. So, you know, it was cool coming back here. I honestly, I'm not even kidding you. When I got this morning, I didn't know we were playing at this church. I walked in, and I still didn't even know where we were. And until I got there, and I was like, hey, this is that stage that I played at, and like I put it all together. And so it's just been a kind of cool day for me just to kind of see that. And you know, it's interesting when you look and see what God's done in your life, you know, and you see there's times we run away from Him, but, you know, He's still there for us. And there's times where we're praising Him, He's there for us. You know, that's His grace, that's His character to always be there for us. And to see what, you know, He's done in my own life spiritually and everything, just since that moment, how much I've grown, still growing, it is a pretty special thing for me. So, one, thank you all for being here and kind of experiencing this night with us. But I also want to say, if I could encourage you, that it is going to be a very special night tonight, and you have Big Daddy Weave coming out, and I'd say this, like, we've had the greatest time on tour. I mean, it's been such a fun time for me. I don't think there's been a night that we haven't laughed until we're crying. I mean, literally, Mike Weaver is, like, hilarious. But you know what's even cooler than that is there hasn't been a night on this tour that I haven't been challenged spiritually to go further and further with Christ. And you know, I just want to encourage you because we've been seeing God pour out on people every night. And it's happening tonight. I'm telling you, the Holy Spirit's going to pour out on you. And I just want to encourage you that just be open to what God has for you tonight. You know, if that's just what you can remember from me, is just be open to what God's going to speak to you tonight, because I'm telling you, He's got a word for you. And it's going to be a special night. And it's going to be a treat. And I don't mean that in a Rice Krispie way. Although now I'm wondering if there is going to be some Rice Krispie treats. I think there is, but hey, I'm sitting in front row, there it is. But anyway, it's going to be a special night. So thank y'all very much. It really is a pleasure for me to be able to do this.